Hello. Hey, so Hope again. You guys are probably sick of me by now. It's only been a couple weeks in a row. So today we're going to go over runes. If you don't know what runes are, well, you're going to learn. But also just a quick thing there, the Viking ABCs, as Jessie put it. I don't know if you can see that. We're going to erase that because she was just trying to be funny. But they are basically the language or the divination style of the Vikings. A lot of people don't know quite how they came about, but we're going to go over that. We're going to go over what each of them, what their actual name is, what they represent, and how to use it as divination. Here's my disclaimer. I got to take this off. I apologize. My disclaimer is I'm not a teacher. I just am someone that likes to share knowledge. So I will ask for and I expect participation. So that includes you guys at home, if there is anyone watching. Jessie has asked me to make sure everything's transcribed so I don't have to go to my phone. I got about halfway through my notes because I didn't print them out. So you'll see me on my phone and with my notepad. Is there anyone on?
Yeah, we have 5 people.
Hello, 5 people.
Sorry.
Can I see?
Lynn.
Hello, Lynn. Hello, Meloni. That's it. Okay. All right. So a little bit about the story of how the runes came through. Odin basically wanted some form of divination, some form of wisdom that he could use for all of his people. Okay. So he hung on Yggdrasil, which is a tree, if you didn't know, for, 9 days? 7 days? 9 days? Hold on, I didn't already want to go through my notes. Hold on. I know that. All right. Yes, I did find my necklace, Lynn. All right. So, yeah, I don't want the whole story. I have the whole story if you guys want it ever. It's kind of a long story. So in the Havamel, it's an old Norse poem, and it describes this whole thing. Basically, he had to sacrifice of himself to himself, and it's the ultimate Odinic sacrifice. And it looks like it was... I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm sorry, you guys. I want to say it was 9 days, but then I second-guessed myself. Even though I've taught this class 90,000 times. All right, well, I can't tell you the exact time. Anyway, so he sacrificed himself by hanging from Yggdrasil in order for the runes to be able to come to him so they could have this language, okay? Are there any comments? Will you tell me?
Jennifer says excited to hear.
Oh, good. Hi. Okay. So that's kind of where that came from. There are 2 different types of runes. There are the Elder Futhark and the Younger Futhark. I exclusively use the Elder Futhark. Nothing against the Younger Futhark, but Elder is kind of where my jam is. I also, in my divination practices, I do not use the blank rune. There are some people that say you have to have it. There are some people that say don't ever use it. I just personally don't use it, because I think it can be kind of confusing to some people, okay? Before I get started on what all the runes are and what they mean, I'm going to show you just a quick what runes are, I guess, So you have them in a little pouch, a little bag, something, and they are each a little individual stone. I don't know if I'm even in front of the camera. She ran away. So they're just each an individual thing. You can make them out of whatever you want. to be honest. Some people say, oh, they have to be bone. Oh, they have to be wood. Oh, they have to be this or that. You can really make them out of whatever you want. I have a bone set. I have like 3 wood sets, and I have probably 5 stone sets. That's kind of my jam. Non-man-made material, basically. However, I do think runes that are man-made material are just as good. I just prefer to make my own, and I prefer to anoint them in blood and do the whole ritual with them, okay? You do not have to. All right, Garrett, what are your runes made out of?
Leopard jasper.
Leopard jasper. Nice. Do you have runes? Do you have runes? Does anyone out there in FaceTube land have runes? And if so, what kind? What are they made out of?
What's the anointing ritual you just mentioned?
Oh, okay. So whenever you make or get new runes, you're supposed to bless them, cleanse them, anoint them, whatever you want to call it, right? So that they know where they belong, so that you can get clarity from them, okay? So for me, the traditional way is to anoint them in blood. Not blood of a human, like you don't go sacrifice your neighbor for it, or anyone else, but blood of an animal, okay? With that being said, don't go kill your cat, right? You can actually go to almost any butcher shop or butcher place, right? And they will you can buy blood so that you can anoint them. So these are my set that I have today are elk bone, and they are anointed in said elk's blood. So
Brooke said she doesn't have any, but she'd love to have some.
yeah, I'm gonna make you some. I've just been a little slow on the uptake. It's been a little crazy, so I haven't gotten them made. Anyone else?
Nope.
Oh, sad. Okay. Anyway, so with that being said, you should always, whether you buy them, make them, whatever, cleanse them or anoint them to you. You can make your own kind of ceremony if you want to. You can find one online. I bet, I'm assuming there's one online. I don't know, but I'm assuming. One of my favorite books, Taking Up the Runes, has a whole ceremony in there. Some people, if they're stones, water washes things away, right? So you can use just water, whatever you want to, right? After each use, whether it's just yourself, you pull 1 rune, that's still a use, right? Cleanse your whole set. And I personally like Paulo. I think that Paulo is just an amazing cleanser. Some people will use sage, some will use incense smoke, some will use water. It just depends on what your preferred medium of cleansing is. Okay, so those are just kind of some care of your runes. You'll just let me know if anyone says anything. Perfect. All right. So any questions on that so far? I feel like I'm talking really fast. Yeah.
What is Apollo?
Palo? Palo Santo is a, it's Palo Santo. I just always call it Palo. But it's an amazing cleansing tool, just like sage. And it smells better, in my opinion. Just because I don't really like the smell of pot, and that's what sage smells like to me. I use sage, but it does smell like pot to me. So, okay. So then we will go on, and we're actually going to... Really. We're going to start at the beginning.
Meg says, what is the name of the book again?
Taking Up the Runes. Sorry. Taking Up the Runes. Let me see if I can find a picture of it on my phone to show you. I know I can, but it's amazing.
And Meg, I'm sorry I mispronounced your name.
Up the Runes. It is by Diana Paxson. Let's see. Yeah, here's a picture. Am I near it? Good. Back, forward.
Back a little. No, forward.
Okay, there's a picture of it. It's just a giant tree, super cute. And I feel like anyone that's interested in the runes, whether you are interested in doing it as a divination style, whether it's something that just interests you, whether you're looking into Norse mythology, anything like that, I think that is an amazing book for it. Okay. All right, so who knows anything about runes? A little bit? What do you know about runes?
Well, obviously they're used as a divination tool.
Mm-hmm.
They come from Norse culture, ancient Norse culture. I know that each symbol has a different meaning to it.
Mm-hmm.
I've also heard that each symbol is actually used for the Norse alphabet.
Correct? Yep. Yep, so that's all really good stuff. Okay, so this is going to be, wow. We are going to start here at the beginning. I don't know how big this has to be so that people can see it.
Yeah. They can't see the top. Okay.
Hold on. I feel like, can you see that? Because it feels like the pen's going out.
Yeah, you can kind of see it. It might be a good idea to use black.
Well, the black one always kicks out on me. I'm sorry. Oh, I think we got a new black one. Better? Okay. All right. So, anyone, what is the name of this rune?
I know it's the root of the cow, right?
Cattle. That's, okay, so it's Fehu, okay? And its sign is the cattle. So with this is the rune of luck, okay? This rune is put in a lot of different power runes or rune symbols, strength, things like that. So that's when you combine runes to make one larger, more powerful rune, right? This is used a lot. There is actually one, and if I can draw it right. So this is the cash cow rune, which clearly you could see right in the middle is Fehu, right? So this by itself, just as Fehu, is known as the cattle rune. It is great for wealth, prosperity, luck, and new beginnings. This rune is one that most people, as soon as they pull it, they're like, good things are ahead. Like, you automatically get this feeling of knowing, right? I don't use this one nearly as much as I feel like I should when I'm making my symbols, but it's a good one. It's a very good one. Any questions on Fehu? And I'm going to read you a little story about it real quick. Okay, so each of these kind of have their own little thing, a deeper meaning or something, okay? So for Fehu, every beginning has within it the seeds of its own end. Okay? Yeah?
Meg said, can you repeat them again a little slower?
Oh, sorry, like what it's for? It's for, well, maybe I could just write it. How's that? It's for wealth. Wow, that's an E. Make sure I'm spelling things correctly, right? That way the people at home can like screenshot it if they want to, right? Okay, so wealth, prosperity, luck, new beginnings, and property. And it is the I don't know if you guys can even see this.
Can't see it.
Oh, good. Well, I didn't want you to see it anyway. Cattle.
It says thank you.
How
You can see
high
the
does it
bottom of
go?
the seat.
Oh, okay. Awesome. That's fine. So this is where a lot of people start when they start to learn the runes, because this is the beginning. All right? And that's why I don't like the black.
Lynn said yes.
Says what?
Lynn says she can see it, but
Oh, good. All right. So here?
yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Urus. Okay. So this rune, a lot of people say it Euros. Apparently it's actually supposed to be pronounced Urus. Okay. Say it however you want. Doesn't take away the magical abilities of it. Right? Okay. Does anyone know what this one is for? No? No one? Okay. How about this? Anyone know what this is? All right. So this is the symbol of the wild boar. The other one was cattle, right? This is wild boar. So the difference between those two, well, besides that they're completely different, but that one has the beginning and the end, right? Fehu has the beginning and the end in it. This one is all about mind over matter, okay? Mind over matter. So this stone is about endurance, survival, persistence, independence. Goodness gracious. And Fehu is also a stone for young lovers. This is a stone for, a rune for warriors. Okay. This one, the little story for it, if I can get there. Okay, it is the power. It is the rune of powerful unconscious shaping energies that need to be guided wisely as they manifest. Okay, this is an early reminder that the untamed powers of creativity are not without danger, and it's kind of a reality check rune. Okay, this one I would definitely use. I know some people that are, trying to get out of a bad relationship, things like that. If you're making a power rune and you want to combine them, this is one I would definitely use. Okay. I don't know if you guys have taken your screenshots or whatnot. Any questions on runes? Yep.
So what's a power rune?
So a power rune is when you take you take two or more runes, put them together in a specific way to kind of make them all combine and more powerful. So we actually, as soon as we go through this, we'll actually go through and make some power runes. So, yeah, it's one of my favorite parts. So any questions about Urus? Nothing? Okay. I wonder if I should, well, no, because you can't see the top anyway. I was going to say I should write them all out after I'm done with them.
I could try and tilt the camera.
But no, because my luck, it'll like break it. I'm serious. I do not have luck with electronics. All right. Okay, from there, we are going to go to this one. And before I write the name, I want to know if anyone knows what it is.
Black.
Nope. What it symbolizes or the name of it? Anything? Huh?
Haven't gotten there yet.
All right. Anything from in phase tube land? I'm going to say no. All right, let's see. Can you guys pronounce that? Thursaz, yeah. Which is?
Lynn says it's a sideways cat.
Hardcore camping right there, like on the side of a rock, kind of. Okay, anyone know what this is? Whose rune this is? This rune belongs to someone. This is Thor's rune. This is the symbol for his hammer. Okay. This one is also known as the giant or giant's rune. It's the larger than life rune. This is, if you pull this, it is a tool or a weapon. It's great for defense, protection, violence. So, and that could be coming or protection against. So, I'll just write that out really quick. Okay, and then the story for that one. Sorry, I stepped on a doobly-majig. It's not great. Oh, strength is a great one for this. I don't know why I felt like hitting the board. It sounded like fun, maybe because it says violence. So people also can describe this as the thorn because it's hard and dangerous, okay? It is most sharp, a grim and evil thing to grip or touch. However, it is representative of Thor and his hammer, and it protects Asgard from the Thursas, which are giants who resist the expansion of consciousness throughout the multiverse. Okay? So this is a very forceful, powerful rune. I tell people that if you are going to mess with the runes, cool. That's cool. If you're going to mess with power runes, that's cool as well. Okay? With that being said, don't use them lightly. Okay? I would not put this in to something unless it is big magic. You know, if it's something that is huge life or death type situations. Okay? Just because this is one of the most powerful runes that there is in the alphabet. Okay? Questions? I actually have a necklace with this on it. Anyway.
So when you say put it into magic, what do you mean by that?
So you don't just need these to write an alphabet or make a power rune or you know, use it as divination. Everything's about intent, right? So if your intent is to make a protective covering over yourself, your loved ones, whatever, that's magic, right? So anything that you do with this, with that intent, is a form of magic. This, it would be big magic. We just went over one. There's other protection runes, right? Even if you are putting them together, this is one I would leave out unless that's a huge thing. That probably did not answer your question, but yeah. Okay, any questions? No? All right. I actually had someone basically say that they were going to curse my family and blah, 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 right? And the only time I've used this as protection, like as it's supposed to, other than, you know, your divination, of course it's going to come up. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, specifically using it in a power rune, right? The only time I've used this was after someone basically said they were going to harm my family. So, and I have runes all over my house. So outside, inside, all over. And this one is there. Yep. Okay, anyone know what this guy is?
Looks like the opposite of
Fehu? Okay.
No, it starts with an 8.
Mm-hmm. I was hoping someone would get it. Ansus. Or they actually say to pronounce it Anasuas. Anasuas. I just say Ansus. Okay, so this one is, they all kind of have what they're supposed to be, right? A god. This is a huge power rune, okay, all by itself. You don't even have to add it with other ones, right? Who do you think this belongs to? You went Greek. Just saying. So this is Odin's rune, or Woden's rune. So most people nowadays know him as Odin, right? Back in the day, he was Woden. So I'm not sure when this W was dropped. To be honest, I haven't ever looked into it. I think I might have to, though, because that's actually a kind of an interesting thing. But yeah, so this is his rune, okay? So as you have probably assumed, like, it's powerful, right? Like, it's his rune. He's the one that hung from Yggdrasil. He's the one that brought all of this about, right? So this is great for order, meaning, woo, inspiration, ugh, wow, and communication, which, if you remember, Odin wanted the runes as a form of communication, right? Which is what we use runes for now when we use it in divination, right? It's a communication with the future or whatever is going on. It's a communication with the universe, right? So that's what this was actually for. I keep forgetting I'm wearing this and I keep stepping on the cord. Why do you keep making me be in the wrong spot? Okay, so there is also a saying that goes with this. It's find your ears before you search for words. Okay? So rather than being the one that, you know, is always doing the talking, maybe listen to what others are, what's going on around you. Because that can give you a lot of clues, a lot of context that can really key you into what is actually going on, right? I actually really like that saying. I have it on a plaque because I think it's a big thing. With that being said, I'm a talker, right? But I will sit and listen to someone all the time if needed. Like, that's how I work, right? So each rune, and I haven't gone over this, but they each have kind of an energy, a divination meaning, something that has to do with your psyche, as well as like a mundane, you know, association. So this one I think is really important to point out kind of the psyche, because it is great for mental stability. Hold on just one second, sorry. So this rune, if you are suffering from any kind of mental illness, anything like this, this would be a great one to put into a power rune.
Ashley says, does the direction of the points of the F matter? If
Yes.
the F point straight, or if the F point is downward or upward?
Yes, because they're different. They're different runes. So you saw earlier with Fehu, the points were going up, right? And then with this one, they're going down. It completely changes which rune you're using. Okay, I'm going to turn this just a little bit. Hi, sorry. Like the whole tripod. Is that too far?
No.
Because I step over here a lot, and you keep telling me to go this way. So is that good?
You would like cut out half your face.
Yeah, well, is that good? But can you see my whole board still? Okay, good. With this one, it also has a meaning of breath, okay? Because it said that his first gift to humans, Odin's first gift to humans, right, was the breath of life. So this rune makes my heart happy. I don't know. I would hope that it makes everybody's heart happy. Questions? No? Okay. I don't know if you guys are learning anything or if this is just like, all right. I always second guess myself, just so you guys are aware. I think we need to wash this board. Okay, this is our next one. All right. Is that too high on there?
No.
So it just depends. So it's said a lot of different ways, but ride hoe. A lot of people call it radio, which is close. However you want to really say it, okay? What do you think it's for? Or what do you think it's used for? That says ride, not rude. Better?
Ash says, I'm joining late to the party, so I didn't see the one before, but thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, you're very, very welcome.
I don't know.
Okay, its phrase is the journey to the destination. Okay, so this is really great for your journey of life or journey through life. I forgot the R. Holy Hannah Montana. That whole word's going to go away. How's that? I like journey through life. Because life is a journey, right? We've heard that a lot. Transportation. Oh my gosh, why are they all such long words? And then also right from wrong. Wow. Knowing right from wrong or figuring out right from wrong. This one is also great for freedom. And that can be freedom of expression, freedom of self, freedom of like actual freedom, getting away from something that's not good or doesn't, strengthen what you need to do. So a little bit about this one. If you were in the here and now, and not going with their things, this one would be like street smarts, okay? It would also be common sense, right? It is the rune of ordered movement of energies in time and space as it pertains to human awareness. It's also great for leading by example. So I have a power rune that this is part of it. I'm the manager of a team, right? And I want to be able to lead them by example. And so this just kind of reminds me of that. All right? Some people actually, there's a whole grouping, whatever, on Facebook, the internet all over and different things, Reddit, whatnot, that actually want this guy to be removed from the alphabet, from the Elder Futhark. They feel like this guy fits in with the younger Futhark, which I agree, but it is part of the Elder Futhark. Anyway, I don't know if you like those different theories or like going back and forth and, you know, debating with people, but if you do, look it up. It's kind of interesting, and their reasonings are kind of interesting. They feel like this, there's lots of reasonings, but they feel like this one is more of a, closer to a now time rune than a back when he was at right after Yggdrasil rune, if that makes sense. Okay? Yeah.
Chinquet says Marquez Queasy Boy Jeopard. I don't know what that means.
Oh, I think she's tagging someone so they can see.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, usually that's what it is if it's a name. Oh, any questions?
So all the runes that we've gone through so far, are they part of the Elder Futhark?
They are?
Okay.
Yep. I'm only going over Elder.
Okay.
Just because I don't feel like I am versed enough in younger. Because I am pig-headed and don't bother to learn about it. This is what I learned, this is what I started with, this is where I'm comfortable, this is what I like. Okay? So 20 odd years ago, you know, this was my jam. Any other questions about this one? Nope. Okay. I do also at the end, like I already gave one book recommendation, but at the end I will go over that one again. I will also go over another book and then websites. I am definitely older school. I prefer to have things written down or printed out or on paper, so books are my jam. But some people want that right at their fingertips, and so websites as well. Okay. And no, it's not Pac-Man.
It's the alligator.
People have said Pac-Man or less than. Yeah. What is it? Anyone know? Anything on there?
Nope.
Okay. Said exactly how it's spelled, Knaz. Okay. And it's, I guess, what people attribute it to as a torch. Which, all right, I get it, right? So its little phrase is, the student surpasses the teacher, okay? So it is for knowledge. My daughter's trying to become a teacher, and I made her a wooden necklace with this one. Anyway, a lot of other things too, but this one definitely.
Bradley just joined.
Hello, Bradley. Okay, so knowledge, craft, tradition, and experience. Hiccup, sorry. This one is really fantastic, also for clarity. When you go into your own psyche, you know. It's a great one for clarity, observations, and humility. Okay, this is one that I feel every single person, no matter who you are, should work with. Because you know what? We can all use more humility. This whole world can, right? So I really like this one. Knaz is another one of those that people will actually take out of their sets, their kits. And I don't get it. I wouldn't remove any of them, but especially not knowledge, humility, you know, clarity. Okay, so it also symbolizes the control and harnessing of fire for warmth and illumination. So it represents having harnessed forces and energies greater than ourselves. Okay, So Thurzaz, right? Thor's hammer that we just went over, his rune, is the creation of the tools. This speaks to the skillful use and crafting of them. Okay, so there you go. And transformation. This is a very transformative rune. Any questions on this one?
Bradley's is
Heyo.
I may be jumping ahead.
Okay.
So you said 30 size is a power rune in itself, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
So is Woden's rune.
so
I didn't hear you
could
say that.
Still combine Kanaz and 30 size to make
Yeah.
its own power rune? Okay.
You can combine any of them. I have known people that have combined like 8 of them in one. That's too much for me. Like, that's chaotic energy. Like, okay, this is what I want to do. This one are all good for it. So you just throw them all in. That's a lot. Like, for me, the path that is the clearest, let's go that way, if that makes sense. But I myself say no more than 4 to make a power rune. So if you just put those 2 together, you're perfect. Okay. I gotta kind of bust through these. I didn't realize what time it is. If we're gonna do anything with power runes. Okay, so this is Kibo. This is the gift, right? It's an X. A lot of people think of it as like X marks the spot. Here's the pirate's treasure. Here's the treasure in and of itself, which is a gift, right? However, X, it can also be, like scary. You have a dead person in a cartoon and they have X's over their eyes, right? So this one cautions you to remember that it might be a gift, but a gift can also be a curse at the same time. Okay, so this is for sacrifice, exchange, as well as my very favorite, generosity. Okay, psychologically or within you, gratitude, forgiveness, and appreciation come with Gibo. This rune, a lot of people use in tantric magic. If you don't know what that is, it's basically like sex magic. Yeah, it's awesome. Anyway, reason being is because it's all about, sacrificing and an exchange of energies and things like that. So this is the sexy rune. All right. It is probably the rune that has the most lore, the most history or mythology behind it. The thing about the Norse is they were an oral tradition, so they didn't write a lot of things down. Some people say it's because they didn't know how. Some people, there's different thoughts behind why. But I feel like it's because they wanted to pass it down. Hold on one second. That's another reason why Odin went to Yggdrasil, because he wanted some way to write things down. And you'll notice with every single rune, they're all straight lines. Straight lines connected in one way or another. And that's because when you're writing on stone, it's harder to make loops, whatnot. It's easier to just make straight lines. Yes?
Bradley says your necklace clinking is really distracting. Sounds like mortar and pestle.
Maybe it is, Bradley. You don't know. How's that better? Okay, so one of the things is we say Merry Xmas, Happy Xmas, and what is Christmas? Well, what is Christmas actually? Not like what the Christians say what Christmas is. It's a time of gift giving. Yeah. However, in the Havamel, the cosmic law of compensation is written as Better not to overpledge as a gift demands a gift. And no man is so generous, he will jib at accepting a gift in return for a gift. Okay? So what that means is the mutual give and take, right? And this is a great rune for that. Questions?
Bradley says thank you.
You're not welcome, meanie. You're welcome.
Well, he says yay, thank you. But
Oh, okay. Okay, no questions? All right. Okay, does anyone know what this is?
black.
Kind of looks like a flag.
Or a golf club.
Woonjo. Okay. And it is joy. Okay, so the phrase for this is great minds think alike, though fools seldom differ, as well as be careful what you wish for. Okay, those are the two things. This is my personal rune. Okay. Joy, hope, harmony. I'm hope. This is my rune. This is mine. You cannot have it. I'm just kidding. It's pretty fantastic. It's also the rune of optimism, which I am the eternal optimist. Yeah. So I really like this one. It also strengthens links, bonds, things like that. So during my wedding, just another story, we did a hand fasting, and each knot that we did had a different, some kind of charm. And we used a lot of runes in our different charms and our different knots. So, which the husband was like, this is weird, but whatever. So this is the inner urge for realization of your soul's true will to achieve perfection of consciousness and the drive to this realization in this lifetime. It wards off woe and worry. All right? It is also on the back of my vehicle. If you ever go look, I have a giant one. People ask me all the time what it is. And I'm like, it doesn't matter what it is. Anyone know what this is? No? No? Okay. It's Hagalaz. Hagalaz, it's form, whatever. It's what people think of as hail. Its phrase is, don't try to fix what we should break before it breaks us. Did that make sense?
One more time.
Don't try to fix what we should break before it breaks us. So, the whole thing of, break it before it can break us. But don't try to fix it before. It's weird. Yes.
Meg said you said the words worry and what else?
Woe. Yeah, so it takes away worry and woe.
And then
Or sorrow.
says, Hagalaz, the hailstone, my favorite.
There we go. So this stone, or this rune, sorry, is one that kind of really worries people. And I think you should know now, like from the two words that were up there first. But it gets better. So crisis, catastrophe, change. Which people are scared of all of those, right? For the most part. Okay, so people are terrified of this rune. a lot. So if you know anything about tarot, people are afraid of the death card, right? People that don't know what it means, they automatically are like, oh my gosh, I got the death card, right? This is its equivalent in runes. So because it can bring all of these. Are these all bad things? To some. Can they potentially be bad things? Yes. But they can also potentially be good things. And with the bad comes the good, except it's surrender and opportunity. Okay? If you are starting a new job, I would put this one up. What else would I put it up with? Anyone? Anyone? Okay, why?
Knowledge and experience.
What about Fehu? New beginnings. Yeah. Okay, so this signals a major shift of energies, and this begins the second row of ants. Okay, so in runes, there's your first row, there's your second row. Depending on which runes, there's your third row, right? This is the beginning of your second row, which is totally crazy that it took an hour to get through half. Like only one row. So this is definitely confrontation with past patterns. Yeah.
Meg says, can you say don't try to fix what?
Oh, okay. Ready? It's weird. Don't try to fix what we should break before it breaks us. So if you are in a toxic relationship and you know that should break, right? Don't try to fix it, because guess what? Then it's going to break you, right? Just let it run its course. Let that change, that crisis, that catastrophe happen so that you can have new opportunities. You can have all of those, right? So it's a really weird saying, but it really does make a lot of sense. Any questions? Sorry. I just hit it with my phone. Probably wasn't a great noise. I don't know if you could tell, but I try to get the good and bad in there, because life isn't all just one or the other, even though sometimes it may feel like it, right? Oh, sorry. Okay, so not this or not this. They say to say it not this as one word. I always say it not this. I don't know. I might be wrong. So it's whatever you want to call it is need fire. Okay. Its little saying is consciousness is the necessity, or that which does not destroy me makes me stronger. Nietzsche said that, right? So it's really funny because this would totally be a Nietzsche rune. Like, I think that this would probably be, if he had power runes somewhere, this would be part of one of them. Okay? So this is all about necessity, restraint, innovation, urgency, and the big one to me, life lessons. Okay? So sometimes, you have to walk through fire to figure out, what you actually need, what is actually good for you, right? And so that's kind of how I interpret this one, is you have to go through things to find out what is needed in your life, okay? It's also a stone of effort. So if you are feeling very much, or stone, why do I keep saying stone, you guys? A rune of effort. So if you are feeling just absolutely blah, like you just have no motivation, don't want to do anything, don't want to change anything, you know, this is a good rune for you, because this shows you, you know, you have to put in the effort just as much as the universe does, right? So without resistance, form would fall apart. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, right? So it is the basic resistance of unconscious forces against newly evolved consciousness, but also the overwhelming need for evolution of consciousness and that unconscious resistance to it. Woo! All right? So some people also say that this is a rune of manipulation, which it could be, but I think manipulation in a good way, which everybody thinks manipulation, it's a bad connotation, right? And I think that way too, for the most part. But sometimes you have to be manipulated into the right place or the right time or the right mindset in order for those life lessons to come to you so that you can evolve and grow, right? Yeah.
Bradley says you need a little more tempering.
Yeah. Yep. Bradley, why aren't you here teaching this with me? Okay. Oh, any questions? Sorry. I don't know if you guys can tell that I kind of like this topic. Or maybe I'm like this in all my classes. I don't know. Okay, this is Isa, ice, okay? Ice only appears to stop a river's flow, right? So this oh my gosh, you guys, this rune is the rune that I feel Garrett should be using all the time.
Bradley says kinda, LOL, and then Milani says still listening, face.
That's not how you spell that, just so you guys are aware. Okay. The reason I said Garrett should use it is because he's a meditation guy, right? So this would be your perfect rune because it's all about stillness, self-control, focus, concentration, as well as digging into yourself, okay? So this is the rune of concentration, and you concentrate on things in a static or frozen state, okay? Rune of stillness and rune of meditation, okay? If you want to kind of get on the negative side, whatnot, it's the rune of coldness, self-preservation, and harsh reality, okay? I feel like I said, all of them can have a good, a bad, an ugly, whatever. I feel like this stone, or this rune, in and of itself is kind of a positive feeling, unless you are afraid to face yourself. Yeah? Did that sound right? Okay, so like ice, which is beautiful and treacherous, it lulls the traveler to sleep with its peace and serenity, okay? However, ice can be absolutely dangerous. So don't lose yourself in your self-control. Don't lose yourself in your meditation. Don't lose yourself in self-reflection. Okay? All right, questions about Isa. Isa, I know a lot of people that use Isa if they have just been through a crazy, chaotic, some kind of situation. They kind of use this as a balance, like work through it, get out over it, and then be able to be still and balanced, right? Okay. Any questions? Huh? It's almost Elsa, but not quite. Okay, so this is Yera, not Jera or Jira, Yera, okay? All right, so this is know your time, but work your weird always, okay? So know when it's your time to shine, but make sure that you are thinking of yourself and your magical workings, your opportunities, things like that as well throughout the full year. Yeah.
Milani says we need Isa to balance this year.
We do need some Isa, just saying. We need some Isa to balance the Yera. Because it's year, don't ask. Okay, so this is the rune of harvest and reward for, or reaction to, right actions in a horizontal or naturally ordered process. Rune of peace on the land and in the heart. Okay, which I probably did not write any of that. I'm sorry. Okay, so this one, I feel like I'm going to sneeze, you guys. Whew. This one was kind of a hope, if that makes sense. It was a hope that you would have a good harvest, that all of the work that you put in, the effort that you put in, however long ago, right, that you could reap what you sow, preferably in a good way, right? Because sometimes that is not used as a very good thing. When you say, I hope you reap what you sow, it might not be a good thing, okay? So the cycle of the seasons is not so much associated with time, but the inflow and outflow of the land's breath. So the rhythms of sleep, dusk and dawn, the heartbeat, the breath, all of these are keys into unlocking Yera's subtle nature, okay? So this has unstoppable energy, and it's gradual but unrelenting. You had your hand up. Yeah, go ahead.
Milani says hardy har har, hope is funny.
I am funny. Okay. Any questions on Yera? Okay. I'm used to Meilani and Amy being here and taking so many notes that I'm just like, holy cow, are you writing the whole thing down?
I'm taking their place.
Better. Okay. So this one has two spellings, and I'm going to put them both because I feel like both of them are right, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is Iwaz, or Uwis, or Uwaz, okay? And its symbol, its whatever, is yew, like the yew tree. So it is great for initiation. All right. The big, bad, scary. Wow. Yeah, you can read all this. Okay, the path is hard and lonely, and there is no end to sight. This one is a decidedly negative rune. Most everyone thinks of this as really not one you want to pull, like a harbinger of doom, yeah, whatever, of doom, okay? I'm not sure that it is. This is a rune that do you know what Kundalini is? Because I'm not going to explain it if you don't. But this is a rune that is associated with that, which, do you want me to spell it for you? Kundalini. Yeah, sorry. This word, death, scares people, right? But death does not always mean dying. Death could be the death of an opportunity, the death of a friendship, the death of a relationship, the death of your negative self into a more positive self. Death can be a lot of things, and not everybody understands that, right? This is also for trees, okay? Anyone that knows me knows how much I love trees. So a yew tree, right? This is just showing, that when a tree is cut down, like it can make all sorts of things and live on in a different way. It can make that paper, it can make that toothpick, it can make that whatever, but it's still living, just in a different form, okay? The little bit about it, it represents the vertical axis, whereas Yira represented the horizontal. Yeah, okay. It is also indicative of the spine. The spine is the channel for one of the most powerful energy flows in the human psyche. So, yeah, kind of goes with all of that. Any questions? Oh.
Bradley says, I feel like this one is more death, whereas Tagala's is more tower.
Tower? Terror?
Tower.
We're, okay.
Sorry.
We're into, I was like, tower? Sorry, you guys, something's in my eye. I do want to say that if you want to do a seance or invoke spirits or talk to the dead or go talk to the underworld, this is a great way to do it. Okay, put this in power rune. And Bradley, I agree and disagree with you on the tower versus death. If you want, we can totally have a discussion about it. You can come talketh to me. Not right now, though. Okay, so they say that this is unknown, but that's not so much what I say it is, okay, or what most everything I've read is. This one is known as the Lot Cup, or
Bradley says cup of plenty.
Or the Gambler's Cup, or the Cup o' Plenty. There you go. So it goes by a lot of different things, okay? You say it Perthrow. So this is the Norns, okay? This is their rune, okay? And it is all about chance, fate, luck, games, and the unknown. Okay, so this is the rune of fate and the unmanifest, so things that could be but aren't yet, that haven't been manifested into being, right? It's also a rune of probability and the role in luck in the evolutionary process of all things. Sorry. Okay, so this is the rune of guesswork, of not knowing. It is the gambler's cup because you don't know anything. Nothing is for certain, right? Nothing is a given. Just because this is what you want doesn't mean that's what you're going to get. Or if that's what you get, maybe that's not what you need, right? I feel like a weird song. Anyway, some people are afraid of this because people are afraid of the unknown, right? Some people also attribute doom to it, and doom is scary, right? So this rune, in my opinion, is kind of like you're an empty slate. You can manifest, do what needs to be done, do what you want for good or bad, right? And it'll lead you to where you will go, right? Good or bad. So this rune, one of the reasons it's called unknown is because it actually, scholars that have gone and done the histories and things like that, read the little amount of things that there were to read, really don't, for 100% sure, know what this one means. Everything else, all the rest of them are kind of like, all right, we can make very educated guesses. This one's a little bit different. It is not a recognized word. So it's extremely significant that it is known by so many different things, right? So a lot cup is an ancient dice box from which lots, or dice, were cast by warriors seeking knowledge of their fate before a battle, okay? And so with that one, that's kind of where this comes in, right? If you turn it, it also looks like something you would, at a gambling place. It looks like a Yahtzee cup, or it looks like a craps cup, or, things that are definitely games of chance. All right? Any questions on that? No? I feel like Bradley had something to say. Come on, Bradley. I know. I just like calling him out. Don't ask. All right. I seriously have something in my eye, and I am not a fan. That's too high, huh? Mm-hmm. Sorry. Yeah? Okay. Okay, algiz, which is elk. However, what does that remind you of? Does that look like anything to anyone? A bird's foot. Okay, or a tree, yeah. So I always call it the chicken foot. And I know elk, and I see where they get the elk with the, prongs off the side. But I'm not, I don't know, maybe it's the strega or the hoodoo voodoo that I enjoy reading about things like that, and so I always think of it as the chicken foot. But it is great for, oh, look at this, protection. I don't know if you have noticed, but there are several different protection ones. And I think that's because the Vikings warred a lot. And they needed a lot of protection. Okay, So fear has its place in every heart. Courage is the only response. Okay, that's kind of its little saying that goes with it, or a quote that kind of goes with this. So this is another one that is the state of listening. So we talked earlier about, there's a lot of people that will talk, but very few who will take the time to listen. Algiz is kind of reminding you, maybe you should. Protection, that's one of the reasons the chicken foot, that I think of it as the chicken foot. However, this rune also belongs to someone. It is the Valkyrie's rune. Okay, so you guys know what the Valkyries are? No? Yeah, maybe? Okay, what are they for you two?
They're warriors in Norse mythology. They're all female.
Okay. What else?
That's all I got.
Okay, so yes, they're all female, whatnot. The Valkyries also, while they could totally, kill some people, they also protected. So the fallen, the dead, they kind of protected their spirit, their body, things like that. So let's see. This is the single strongest energy connected with existence, okay? So it is also a very good teaching force for independence and faith, okay? I like this rune. I love all the runes, okay? This is one that if I am pulling for myself and I pull it, I kind of take a breather, stop, kind of delve into what's going on. It's definitely a rune that makes me think, stop and think. Yeah.
Bradley says that he calls them battle angels.
What? Battle angels?
Battle angels.
All right. Oh, any questions? Since I already got rid of some of that. I'm sorry. I really want to get to be able to show you guys power runes. So because I think they're important. All right. So this is Suilo. Everybody says this one super different. There are probably about 15 different ways I've ever heard that pronounced. But with that being said, I don't think that means any of them are wrong, okay? I do know that there are some people that would definitely, if you said it one way and they thought that was wrong, they would probably be offended, but I'm not one of those. All right, so this is Suilo. It's the sun. The guide leads you to the doorway and then waits for your return, is the quote. Take that as you will. It's a rune of guidance, goal setting, and success, as well as victory and mastery of whatever you choose to master, as well as wholeness. Okay? So for your psyche, the seat of the soul is this one, kind of where your chi, your mana, your whatever you call it, right? Your life force. This is kind of where it comes from. Okay. With that being said, this can easily be flipped, and it becomes a rune of bad advice, bad decisions, and hopelessness. So some people don't do the whole flipping thing. However, if it is flipped, that's kind of what it means. And if that's what your belief is, I guess. So this one can easily go from being an amazing, amazing thing to, holy cow, depths of darkness. Yeah.
So, flip represented by a line underneath of it?
No. So, let's pull one out. Oh! Okay, so I'll just pull a couple out. So this one, right, is right side up. This is upside down. So this is flipped. Yep. So I personally, just like with tarot and any other thing, I tend to, I'll read, this as a good, this is a caution. Okay. Not everybody does that, but that's what I mean when I say flipped. Okay. Oh, I seriously have something in my eye and it is killing me. So, so this is the exact opposite of Isa. Isa is snow, ice. And what melts the ice faster than the sun? So there you go. Okay, questions on this guy? Nope? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. This is Tiwaz. Okay. It is the Tears rune. So, if you don't know who Tyr was, he was one of the Norse gods. And he liked to balance the scales. He liked justice. And this rune is all about justice. It's also about laws, principles. Did you guys hear that, or was it just me? Oh, good. And it's also about being a warrior, but not just any warrior, a warrior for good. Okay? But this is the big one for me. Balance. Okay? I personally feel like balance is, you have to have balance in life. You have to have the good and the bad, the black and the white, the dark and the light, whatever you call them, right? The positive and negative, to keep everything balanced. Everything cannot be all roses all the time, right? So balance for me is a huge, huge thing. Hiccup, sorry. And this is definitely the rune for that. It's also really great for faith, loyalty, togetherness, different things like that. And then let's see, where is it? Okay, so his hand was sacrificed to trick the wolf Fenris into being chained up. That's who Tyr is. So yeah, I assume you have something for me.
Sorry, Brandy just joined. I have a feeling she just joined. She says, better late than never.
Correct. Hello, Brandy. Questions about this one? Okay. If you don't know, if you want to know more about Tyr, I suggest that you read about him. It's super fascinating, kind of what he sacrificed for the good, what he sacrificed for justice and balance to be had. I know people that are into Norse stuff are like, yeah, Odin, and Odin's amazing. Or, yeah, Thor, and Thor's amazing. Yes, Loki or Fenrir or Sleipnir or whatever, But Tyr has a truly fascinating history and mythology behind him. So I would tell you guys to definitely read up on him. He's pretty cool. Okay, so this is the goddess, right? Most people say that these look like boobs, and that's how they remember it. So, not gonna lie, that's not what people attribute it to. So the most obvious truth is hidden deep within, and only you will ever know it, is the quote for this guy. Okay, so this one is all about rebirth, wisdom, but not learned wisdom, natural wisdom. Okay, so things that you just know. Healing, safety, and my favorite, sanctuary. So there's a really awesome story that is basically kind of the origins of this. It's kind of, women knew all, and it goes into why each of these are what they are. Women are there to heal us. They're our safety. They're, the warriors, when they came back, they found their sanctuary or their safe place in the arms of a loving woman, things like that. It's a really cool story. It's part of the Havamal. But Burkano, okay? Not Burkana. Clearly that's a no. People say it all the time, Burkana. That one gets me. Usually I'm like, oh yeah, say it. That is clearly a no. So, yes.
Bradley said Burkano, then B for Bradley, haha. High Priestess energy, which is my card. Holy crap, no one has presented Burkano to me like this.
Who said that?
Bradley.
Well, maybe you should, talk to me. So the Burkano goes with another one a lot, which we'll talk about. But these two, a lot of people kind of interchange, okay, or add together, especially in a power rune, because this one is water or purification, and this one is like your wisdom, your rebirth, things like that. So they put them together as kind of a purification, detoxification, coming out new. Okay. There's one of the Greek story, Aphrodite, right? How she came out of the ocean in the clamshell, all that, right? So there's a story like that, but in Norse tradition. And it all has to do with those two. Okay. Any questions about this one? This is a great rune for motherhood as well. If you know anyone that's pregnant, gonna have a baby, trying to get pregnant, anything like that, this would be a good one to scribe for them. Just kind of help them out a little bit. Okay? Let's try that again without them crossing, because that's a whole different rune. There we go. I don't know if that's too high.
No.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, so this is Iwas, which is different from the last one that was Iwas. This is the horse. So this is trust, teamwork, and partnership. Well, let's spell that right. So how I personally read runes, if I'm reading for someone, they pull the rune, they put it down, and I ask them, what do you see? Okay. And usually I get a goalpost. Okay. That this could be a goalpost, right? And what do you need? You know, if there's a goalpost, it's probably some kind of a sport, some kind of a place that you are ending up, right? Which brings in the teamwork, right? You can't get to that goalpost without that teamwork. So that's how I explain it a lot. This is a little bit funny. So it's the mind will trust the body will trust the mind. Who's right? Can they both be right? More than likely, right? So cooperation, as well as harmony. And if you want help making friends, this would be a good one to scribe for that. It's also really great for, it's not a rune of like force. It's a rune of like gentle persuasion, you know, like this is what I want you to do, but I'm not going to hit you over the head with a hammer to make you do it. I'm going to just kind of push you along just a little bit, you know. I know a lot of people that have this actually somewhere on or in their home. Kind of a happy wife, happy life type quote, you know, that this kind of helps with that. Okay, any questions?
It seems like all of these are related to trust and teamwork.
Right.
It seems like all of them are.
Right.
So what I've got envisioned in my mind is they're out to battle, and they have like a person, like a captain or something, and he wants to try to rally the guys together with pep talk. So he throws the runes, and the runes kind of explain to the people who are going into battle that they, you know, gives them a little bit more willingness to go, you know, draws them together as a team.
I agree. Actually, it's really funny because the first line, right? They are all kind of like really powerful, strong, like, you know, they are the ones that are going to hit you over the head with a hammer. Whereas the second ayat, they're kind of just like, let me give you this idea and help you along your way. Like, they're just gentler. Okay. And yeah, most of them are about teamwork, togetherness, you know, teamwork makes the dream work, all of that. And I really like that. Also, I really like the fact that with runes, I don't really, you know, sugarcoat things, whatnot. Runes don't do that either. Runes just kind of tell you what you need to know. You know, it's right there. Any questions on there? Anything on there? How rude, Bradley. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we have 4 more. 4 more? 3 or 4 more? That's probably too high. Okay, let's try this again. I have something in my eye, you guys, and it is killing me. Ha! Yeah? All right. Ooh. I feel like as I'm writing, it's getting higher and higher. Oh, good. Okay. This is manaz. This is mind, memory, and humanity. Okay. So this is the rune of mankind. Its little quote is, "We are each a savior, each a god. It is the fear of what this means which binds us to the realm of humankind." Okay. So this is a rune of divine structure. That is divine structure for everything. That is for your intelligence, for your magic workings, for your warrior abilities, all of that, right? So this is the divine structure for everything. It is also for collective potential. So collective potential would be, you know, we have this group, and each of them has a different, you know, something awesome about them, a different, you know, strength. But collectively, you put all that together, and what can you achieve, right? So that's kind of what this is. So it's your goalposts, right, from the last one. It's your goalposts for teamwork, but they're all interconnected because it's to bring everyone together. This is actually on a lot of different like teams, and a lot of people don't know it, but if you go watch like a high school game, you go watch Northridge, okay? They have this on their helmets. I don't know if they know or not what it is. Maybe they just think it's like a symbol, you know, but this is like a power rune in and of itself, right? So, I'm a fan of all the runes. I keep saying that, but definitely this. I want to say that, where is it? Access to the collective unconsciousness of Earth and humanity can also be gained by invoking Manaz. Okay? So, you will have people that will talk about, you know, accessing other people's knowledge, whether that's via, you know, dream walking, astral projection, whatever, or a form of divination. This is kind of helping to unlock all of that. Okay? All right. Oh, you guys. My eyeball. No, So I put makeup on, which I don't do very often, and I don't think I should have. Well, because I got mascara in my eyeball. I want to not be on camera messing with my eye. Gosh. Good thing that the camera's far enough away that it doesn't see my face. Okay, so this is the lake, or Laguz, okay? Its quote is, "Our future selves call us from infinite pasts, and each night are eroded within our dreams." Okay, so this is the subconscious. This is dreams. Imagination, as well as, oh, look at this. Collective memory. Which, from the last one, right? This whole they kind of bleed into each other. Like, this one is this, which, it leads to this and plus more, and then so on and so forth. So, this is also a great one for clarity and cleansing, okay? Remember I was talking about putting them together and you get like a detoxification, a purification, detoxification, starting things over, right? It's kind of what we have here, okay? This is a great part of it. So this is the rune of the conscious context of becoming, or the evolutionary process. Rune of life's longing for itself. Water is one of its biggest things. And then, let's see. It can also be used in establishing a communication link from your conscious mind under willful intent to the unconscious mind of another. So remember how I was saying, if you astral projection, things like that, that's kind of what this is telling you. Use this guy and it'll help you in the process. Okay? Any questions about Laguz? Laguz. Nope. Do you have your phone still?
Yep.
Okay. Anyone know what this is?
Love Z's.
Ow!
You good?
No, there's stabbies all over. They honestly probably came from my house. So it's my own fault. They do really love Z's, right?
Yeah.
Everything has a Z. Ugh. Did I spell that right? I did. Okay, I'll write my favorite in a second. So the quote for this, this is Ingu's, which is the seed. Okay. Creation, process, evolution. My very favorite is internal growth. I feel like everybody should always be growing in some way, right? And that's learning new subjects, doing new things, all of that. So I really like that that's what this is for. So the quote is, only when we know our solitude to be different from our loneliness can we be whole enough to honor another's place. Okay, let me say that one again. Only when we know our solitude is to be different from our loneliness can we be whole enough to honor another's place. Okay, so I read it twice because I think that is a super important quote. A lot of people, I'm in solitude, but that doesn't mean I'm lonely. That just means that this is where I need to be, right? But you can be in a crowded room and still be lonely as all get out, right? So they're not the same thing. And until you can figure out that and have enough, internal growth to process that, to know that that's how it is, you're never going to be able to share the same space with someone else, if that makes sense. Like, that's on that same path or that same, trajectory. It's also the rune of male fertility. So, any questions on him? Okay. I became dyslexic for a minute. All right, this is Degas, and it is enlightenment. Wow, that's an N. Awakening, I'll just put down here. And it's also hyper-consciousness. All right, so this is Degas. Degas means day. So awakening, you awaken at the beginning of the day. However, you can also have a spiritual awakening. You can have all kinds of different awakenings, right? So this is a really, really great one. If, whatever path you're on, if you have come to a new opening, if you have come to a realization, if you have that light bulb moment, okay, Degas would be there to help you out. Its quote is, "Time is an illusion that once realized is lovingly embraced nonetheless." Okay? Once you realize that time isn't infinite, that you don't have all the time, you embrace it and you do what needs to be done, right? You live it to the fullest. How's that? I very much like Degas, and it is the counterpart to Yira. So Yira is year, and Dagaz is day. All right. They both refer to time, but one is a shorter expanse than the other. Okay. Any questions on this guy? And all right. Well, that was a terrible drawing. Whatever. And if you guys, by any chance, want this actually sent to you, all the slides and everything that I have, if you want to write down your email or something on a piece of paper, I'll actually email you my whole slideshow. Just because that might be a little bit easier than, remembering everything that was said. So this is Athala. Athala is literally homeland, okay, or ancestral land. It also sometimes is in relation to like an estate or a trust or a will or an inheritance, something like that, okay? So, however, it is for legacy and greater peace. Okay, it's Athala is kind of, this rounds out the Elder Futhark. Okay, so we start right. We started with Fehu and we ended with Athala. So Fehu, was the beginnings. This is our kind of our legacy, the ending of it, if that makes sense. This is great for paradise or for being happy where you are, knowing that you don't have to, move around, change things, have the best, newest, biggest, greatest, but you're comfortable in your skin, in your place, if that makes sense. It also deals with family, estate, inheritance, and ancestry. That is the biggest thing for this one. Oh, I didn't read my thing, did I? My quote. Just remember, we all inherit ourselves. So whatever we do, good, bad, ugly, right, wrong, that's ours. We have to take that on. We can change it. We can maybe not fix it, but, try to make amends, things like that. But remember, whatever we do, we inherit. It's ours. Yeah.
Meg put her email in, so I wrote that down for you.
Thank you.
Brandy also just did, so I'll write that down as well.
Okay.
Melanie says Thor's pounding his hammer on us.
Oh, is it? Really? Hopefully it isn't actually raining yet and it's just the thunder. Okay. Oh, I didn't even ask. Any questions on that one? Or did I ask? And I just don't remember. Okay, we have approximately 8 minutes. We could do one of two things. I could show you some power runes if you want. Or we can do a practice rune throw. So I could show you how to actually throw the runes. Which would you prefer?
Practice throw runes.
Practice. Okay, with that being said, we're going to turn the camera around, so you could see the table rather than up here, because we're going to be sitting at the table. Will you scoot down so I can be here, and because you have your runes and I have mine, so that's perfect. Woo!
You want it long, like all the way
Yep.
down the table, or?
Yep. And I hope that they'll be able to see.
Meg says that she wants to see you throw the runes too.
Oh, yeah.
And Melanie says that it's raining and thundering.
Great. I don't think I rolled my window up.
So they can see like right past the cup, like right past.
Perfect. Usually I wouldn't have an issue with going like long, but there's a whole nother class at 6, so that we have to clean this up for. Okay. So what I do when I am going to throw the runes, and I hope you guys can hear me because I put the mask on, we're in close proximity. So I leave them all in the bag and I move them around. Basically what I'm doing is I'm putting my energies into it, right? Just like I do the same with tarot, pendulum, any form of divination that I do, okay? Then I'm going to have her do the same exact thing.
Kara also says to plug her class, please.
Oh yeah, hey you guys. So for Spirit Con, we're actually holding a fundraiser for book building. So building your own junk journals, things like that. Tonight, Kara's going to be teaching it. It's at 6 and it's downstairs.
And Brandy says books, really cool books.
Yes, books, really cool books. Okay, so I start out by doing that and then I plop it, okay, so that my bag stays up. We don't have time for a full throw, so we're going to just do a pull, okay? So, okay, pull one out, put it down, pull one out, put it down, pull one out, and put it down. Okay.
All
right.
Says, sorry.
Go ahead.
There isn't much setup, so run as long as you want. Meg says, are you going to be on Facebook too?
No, not for the fundraiser class, unfortunately. It is in person, but we do have plenty of space that we can definitely spread out enough. So, okay. So I had her pull 3. What I'm doing is kind of it's just